We're here today at Pride Park Stadium, the home of Derby County Football Club, and I'm delighted to be sharing an interview with Tom Glick, the CEO and President of the football club. Tom's going to be sharing his views on leadership, on culture, on getting a peak performing team. I know Tom's been a great fan of businesses in and around Derby in his time here at the football club, and we wish him all the very best in his new role as CEO at Manchester City Football Club.
First up, just we've been looking at different businesses around Derby. You are a business, but what's it like, coming over to the UK and running a football club over here right now?
It's been exhilarating. My background's been running sports clubs for 23 years now. I did 15 years in baseball, 5 years in basketball, 3 years in football. I had a notion that working in football here fundamentally would be the same in terms of the things that it takes to be successful.
And what is the vision that you've got for the club here?
We want to be the best run club in the UK, period. Regardless of size, regardless of league, we want to be thought of as doing it better than other clubs. And I think we're doing some things well right now. We're certainly a long way away from realizing that vision, but that's our challenge and opportunity, and what kind of keeps us sharp every morning. And we come to work saying, how are we going to get better? How are we going to meet this vision and this objective? So that's everything that we do, from how we interact with our supporters, who are our customers, our sponsors, how we do at player recruitment, how we do at youth development at the academy, how we do at managing the first team, how we do it at fitness levels, how we do at keeping our players healthy and on the pitch. All of those aspects, we want to be doing it better than the rest, and the end product that we'd like to get is we'd like to be challenging this year and every year going forward for the playoffs and ultimately for promotion, to achieve that promotion, and then to hold down a spot in the Premier League. And we think all of those are realistic objectives for Derby County, and that's where we expect to be.
How do you describe the culture that exists at the club here?
I think I would start by saying we try to have a culture of club. So, and we have two very different parts of the football club. And one is the sporting side, the football side, and the other is the business side. And they're two very different dynamics at the club. So one is all about player development, player recruitment, training, playing on that pitch, winning games, and it's its own business and it's its own culture. And then the other side is running the stadium, interacting with our supporters, our sponsors, our caterer, our corporate hospitality guests, health and safety. I mean, you name it. There's a very different discipline and dynamic. And so, firstly, we want to make sure that those two very different parts work very closely together and feel like they belong to the same club. So that's something that myself and Nigel Clough, the manager, spend a great deal of time on, in making sure that we encourage that interaction in all of our senior executives and all of our managers. We're a business, and we're a serious business, and in order for us to be successful, we have to think and operate as a business. However, we're also in the football business, and so we want to enjoy it, and so we want to remind ourselves that we also work at a football club, and it's a great privilege and it's a great opportunity. I think all of us at Derby County are grateful that we have that opportunity.
And part of any business is growing your brand and growing your brand value. How are you going about growing the brand here?
Well, the most important thing about growing our brand is to do quality work, because a brand really stands for something. So for me, it's about doing good work, consistently delivering good work, and it's what stands behind your brand that people really should think of. It's nice to have a good logo and and a polished mark and colors and all of that, and we've certainly worked very hard on all of that and taking advantage of the great traditions and attributes, the great logo that Derby has, and putting it out in a great way, in a consistent way, so that everything we do looks the same. But the bottom line is you have to have some quality that stands behind it. So for us, that's the most important thing, is doing great quality work, and then beyond that, I think, is communicating the work that you're doing. And so we work within our marketing department, we work in our communications department to talk about the good things that are happening and the success stories. And I think we probably don't do enough of that, and we're always looking for ways that we can do a better job of communicating the good work that's going on.
How do you go about communicating what's important? How do you go about raising the bar and leading the team?
I think one of the things that we've done since we arrived is to try to get the entire club together as many times as we can to communicate and re-communicate where we're going, where we are, where we're going, and how everybody has a role in getting there. And so we have a formal way of doing that every quarter. We'll get everybody together in one room, and we'll talk about exactly that. Here's where we are. Here's what the next 3 months look like. One of them is definitely a full year top line business plan. And it started with me talking to everybody, and it's evolved into individuals throughout the organization talking about what they're doing. And those are very important moments for us, because it allows us again to get the whole club together, regardless of what your job description is, and for everybody to get a feel for what's important to the whole club, not just their one particular area, and what's going on in other departments. So it can help inform them and perhaps help give them some perspective in terms of what they're doing and how it fits into the big picture. So we do that every quarter. We have a monthly session with all of our department managers from the entire club to take a look forward for the next 30 days. We'll have, I have weekly meetings with my key members of the executive team, and then they'll do with their direct reports. And so, at all of the, we have monthly budget reviews where we take a look at actuals versus our intended performances and how we're doing there. So at all of these times are opportunities for us to reiterate what we're looking to achieve, to benchmark how we're doing so far, to pivot if we are behind in an area, and so all those things are important moments for us throughout the year.
How important is Marketing Derby for, in your mind, sort of growing the city?
Well, I think Marketing Derby and John Forkin and his team do an amazing job, and in fact they're one of the first organizations, at least their work. I hadn't met John until I arrived in town, but I was familiar with the work that he did, because the work that he did was a big part of why our ownership group chose Derby instead of another club, because while we looked at the traditions and the support and the facilities that this club enjoys, we also looked at the community, the city, the economy, and how healthy was it and where was it going as an economy. And so the materials that John continues to put together and did 3 years ago were superior in terms of their quality, in terms of their content. So we're lucky to have them. We as a club want to do everything we can to support and grow Derby as a city and the East Midlands region and the county of Derbyshire, because the stronger that it is, the stronger we will all be who live and do business here. So it's our pleasure, but also again, I think our responsibility. It's in our selfish interests, your selfish interests, to help Marketing Derby do its work.
3 years up almost. What would you hold out as your top achievement since coming to the club?
Oh gosh, I think we have assembled. Number one, we have assembled a very talented, committed group of people who work in all parts and at all levels of this football club, and that's the group of people who are delivering day in and day out to help this football club achieve its goals and make a difference for our supporters and our communities.
What are your philosophies around leadership, Tom?
I don't know that I have one. Yeah, I try to keep it fairly simple. I think that number one, that you need to have a vision and communicate that vision. It's number two, I think you need to be visible, people on your team need to see you. They need to see you also walking the walk a little bit, or walking the talk. So I think it's important that you work hard. I think it's important that you also are doing the little things, doing the dirty work from time to time, and showing people that you are in tune with what they need to do, and also willing to do the tough things, not just the glamorous things. It would be easy to go to a lot of dinners and events and things as the chief executive of Derby County, but what's more important is that I'm in tune with my staff here, and know exactly what they're worried about and working on, and the things that are going well and the challenges that they're having, and rolling up my sleeves to help and assist with that going on. Beyond that, I think it's encouraging communication, encouraging teamwork, and then setting challenging objectives as well that tie into that vision, and so having people reach and strive to do better. All of these things are important.
You talked earlier on about the importance of getting a great team of people around you here at the club. How do you now go about really growing and nurturing the talent you've got in the organisation?
That's a good question. I think we have some formal processes in terms of an annual self-appraisal. Every one of our employees has key performance indicators that they have worked on with their department managers, and the department managers would have had their a member of the executive team sign off on. And we also focus on those quarterly, and even there are financial rewards that come along with some of them. Those are given out quarterly as well, to keep people focused, to keep them on pace. And it's not just about where you end, where you are at the end of the year. We want people to pay attention weekly, monthly, quarterly. So it's having that disciplined process that also enables that feedback, positive and negative, in terms of how people are doing.
In your mind, what makes a great leader?
Well, I think that for me, beyond what I said earlier, would be the recognition that there's only so much that you can do, and the need to surround yourself with a lot of talent, and having the humility, having the setting the ego aside to be able to share the credit, allow those people to grow, allow those people to take the limelight, allow those people to take on key and important projects for their own development. For me, I will be more successful as a leader of this team if I have great people around me, and if I allow those great people to do great work and to grow. And for me, a leader needs to recognize that and to deliver against that.
And what makes a great team player?
Good team player. I think it's the ability to sacrifice personal gain, personal glory for the greater good. So it's the willingness to let somebody else take on a certain job, even though you might want to, for their development or because they're better at it, knowing that we all win together. I think it's that level of self-sacrifice that is the most important attribute, in my opinion, to be a great team player.
What parallels would you draw out between getting a team fit for winning on a Saturday and actually getting a business fit for winning in the boardroom?
Well, I think it's all of us need to recognize that we don't have all the answers, and we can always get better, no matter how good and how accomplished we may be at what our given profession is. We can all improve, and I've always found that it's easier for me to learn how to improve by getting somebody else's point of view, or multiple points of view, but then also having somebody who you trust, who you listen to, who you respect, who can help pull that out of you, right? And so that could be your boss, or it could be a colleague, or it could be someone else. I report up into 6 owners, and I rely on them for feedback. I rely on my wife for feedback. I rely on my direct reports, those who I'm managing, for feedback. I rely on my peers in the industry, at other clubs, for feedback and ideas. So I think I think that coaching in business is equally as important as coaching on the football field, if you come at it from the mentality that you don't have all the answers, and if you want to improve, then I think you can find ways to do it.
You've obviously had a chance to see the Derby business community, and you've got some great philosophies of how you're going to grow the club here and achieve the results you're looking for. If you just to sort of hold out with 3 thoughts or 3 words of advice for the Derby business community on how they could achieve more success and better results, what would they be?
Well, I think within your category, know your competitors. Know what they do well, know what they don't do well. I think that's important, because ultimately we are competing with someone at some level in every business category, sometimes in multiple categories, to win commercially and to win in business. And I think that's a good thing. I think that drives all of us to achieve high. It doesn't mean that you have to only have 1 player in every category. There may be room for 2 or 3 or 4 doing very well, but they can push each other. But know your competitor and their strengths and weaknesses. Secondly, know your customer. Spend time with. I would say, go and spend time with your top 5, top 8, top 10 customers over the next month. Find out how you're doing. What do they like that you're doing? What are you doing that they don't like? What are you not doing that you could be doing? I think that's important. And then finally, I would say, reconnect with your employees, and find out how they're doing, find out how you're serving them, and how you can knit together as an even better team.
I'm sure you agree there were some great learnings that we can put into our businesses from Tom's interview there. And if you know anybody else, for that matter, who might make a great story, or indeed yourself, you think you can contribute to Derby Business TV, please get in touch. Please let us know your story through Twitter or Facebook.